Yo guys, and welcome to my review of episode 35 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. I'm going to be honest, I was supposed to record this like 2 days ago. However, the new Go Rush game on Switch came out and I've been kind of obsessed with that, so I didn't really have time to do this review. And by the way, I will be doing a kind of a review of that game in a couple of days. It's really fun, so that's cool. One thing I do want to point out, which is interesting about it before we start this review, is that when you beat the main story, you unlock the Seventh World and you travel to it through like a wormhole. Just kind of an interesting thing that I wanted to mention for those of you who haven't gotten the game yet. So, kind of an interesting thing, right? And there's like a full animation of you traveling through a wormhole to Sevens and back. So, it could just be nothing. It could literally be like the Duel Links gate system, right? Where you travel through worlds. But wanted to point it out real quick because it could mean something. But anyways, let's get started with the review of this episode. I'm not going to go too far into Yugioh again, since we've gotten him like for the last 3 episodes, right, a little bit. So I don't plan on doing it every single week from now on. Obviously, when he gets fully revealed, I will do it then, but like, if in next week's episode we get like, I don't know, a bit more of him just showing up, I won't really put too much emphasis on it, since we can, it doesn't really reveal much. We kind of already know that it is Yugioh, so yeah. Also, I've seen a lot of people say, oh, I don't think they're gonna reveal it by the end of this arc, that's probably going to be like end of season thing. I completely disagree, because keep in mind, up until like a few episodes ago, or specifically up until the start of this arc, there wasn't too much hinting, right? There were a few things, right? Some stuff in episode 1, and then obviously the big Gohayuna moment, but they didn't tease too much between the connection of the worlds. But this arc, I mean, every single episode I think we've gotten something. We got something in that, like, Udius Ishida Glot duel, right, where Gohayuna returned the duel disc, and I mean, then the last 3 episodes, right, I mean, it feels so obvious at this point. I know they're going too far into it, and while they could do it at the end of the season, just how much they're doing it right now, I feel like we're going to get it by the end of the arc. Especially since Yuga had such a reaction to Delug. We could see some kind of interaction between those two characters, but who knows, right? We'll see. Now, let's talk about the main point of this episode, which is London. Has he been redeemed? Kind of. I still don't think it was he's fully redeemed, right? Because despite everything that he has done, having a good purpose, there was probably a few better ways he could have done that, tricking UTS and everything. He probably could have explained some stuff to UTS or to UDS Yukanyumu, and they still would have helped him, especially UDS, right? He would instantly help London, no matter what the issue is. So, in that sense, there is still some fault in the way he did things, but it was all for a good purpose, so it's not that bad. The fact that he and Yendestar have such a bigger connection than we thought, and now that explains the scene that I've been talking about literally ever since it happened at the end of the Rovian and Yugioh duel, right, in the last episode, where London and Netsuzo were leaving on their spaceship, and Nyendestar tried to get on that ship, right? So we now know that it wasn't to stop them, she was going to join them. That just makes so much sense, and that's one of the things that I love about Bridges Yu-Gi-Oh! Is there's so much connection between everything. They never forget stuff, and that was so good. And I can't wait to look back on all the interactions where Nyendestar and London were in the same scene together to see if there was anything that happened between them. But overall, really cool. And I hope they do more with him when they all inevitably get unfrozen, because I think this is a good start to his character, just like Roa, when his ways obviously in the first arc were also very wrong, but again he had a purpose which made sense at that time. So by the end of the show, he slowly started to understand everything that what he did was wrong, and he did everything in the end for his band instead of for himself. And I hope that now we can see that side of London where he's going to do stuff for other people and try to redeem himself again, just like Roa did. Another character who I thought had a very good episode was Gohayuna. She has been a really weird character, right? When she first got revealed, she was like in that duel against Yugioh. We saw her as so dangerous and such a, opposing character. And then ever since a few episodes after, when Rovian was introduced, she just kind of sipped for Rovian like the last arc and a half, right? She was just kind of a simp for her. And this episode we're finally kind of seeing her move away from Rovian a little bit, starting to become her own character, which that's great. And because I really like Gohayuna, and we know she's going to be much more important later because of that whole Yuga interaction, so getting her to kind of become more of her own character and become a bit more likable, I think that's great. The final thing also is Mitsuko, she recognized Yuga, or at least she kinda had an idea of who he was, which is interesting, right? We know that Yuga gave Yugioh his dual disc and possibly the Galaxy deck, right? We know Yugioh wasn't able to get the packs from the store because he was captured by the police, but we never got an actual confirmation of how exactly he got those Rush Duel packs. So if, again, Yuga somehow gave it to him, it also made sense that he would somehow give them to Yugioh. And it even makes more sense because Yuga knows about the whole situation of what happened with Roa, so he's there seeing again two Valkyrians, the same way he and Roa were at that concert with Otis. But here Yuga doesn't want to make the same mistake as Otis and give both of them a chance with giving them Galaxy cards. Now, the only thing that kind of contradicts that right now is the fact that Yugioh has the 7th dual disc while Yugioh doesn't, but somehow it feels like Yugioh and Yugioh should have gotten their cards in the same way. Again, what that way is, we don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of very interesting things, and I just feel like we're going to get him by the end of this arc. I mean, they're hinting so much at it. We're gonna find out, but yeah, tell me you guys what you think in the comments. Do you have your own theories as always? And yeah, I'll see you guys in a few days actually.